Witness, state your name and occupation.
Oh, yes, my name is Joan Garrido, and I'm, well, unemployed. I'm a juror and such like.
It's okay to say you're unemployed. I am too. It's alright. Sounds like she doesn't even know if she's a housewife or maid or what anymore. Me either, man, honestly.
The court has decided your testimony is required in order to clarify matters in this case.
Yeah, she was here.
Do you understand, madam?
Yes, my lord. You will tell the court everything that took place in your household on the evening in question. Okay, here. I'll give another content warning for, spousal stuff. So, yeah, just, beware of it. But, I might be able to put a timestamp. I'm not sure. You'll see it if I can. And I warn you, do not attempt to hide the truth. God, he's so hot. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Oh dearie me. The sound of the teapot rattling, that's really good.
Chin up, Joni. Nothing to worry about now.
How did you get here? Oh, I didn't know you were here, John. This poor guy. You ass. God, I hate her so much.
Wasn't only you in the room that... wasn't only you in the room that day, old thing, was it?
What does that mean?
Rather think I ought to testify as well, don't you?
Nobody asked you, but okay. But what about your knee, darling? Surely we can arrange for him to have a chair, right?
Don't you worry about that. Hardly notice it.
Give him a chair. Give him a chair.
I'm not the sort of chap to leave a comrade to face disciplinary action alone.
Oh, John. Shut up.
I presume you are Mr. John Garrido.
They are so close.
Yes, sir! Former 2nd Lieutenant at the 3rd Regiment of the 4th Northumberland sir.
What was his voice?
Seen my fair share of action and now living the quiet life, as it were.
That's right. The quiet life. Were you not engaged in an incendiary battle with your spouse on the day in question?
Well, yes. What? I believe this may represent a first in the proud history of the British court.
What?
Calling a juror to the witness stand is unprecedented and impossible. However, the court will hear your testimony now, juror number 4, and that of your husband. You will recount clearly and concisely the events in your home at the time of the incident in question. Sir, at once!
Gosh, their voices are extremely close together. I have like one old man voice that I do. The Battle of oh my god. So insensitive.
Yes, on the day you're referring to, the wife and I did have a bit of a skirmish. Can't recall the reason now.
Yes, you can, you liar.
Knocked a candlestick over and set fire to the carpet. Soon had it out, though, and got the window open.
Meanwhile, I was picking up whatever I could find to throw at him.
Plenty of knives around our place. Can't say I'd notice if 1 or 2 went missing, I'm afraid. If that bully thing in the victim's back really was one of ours, you'll have a job proving it, I think.
Okay.
It sounds as though it was quite the battlefield in your household that evening.
Although an entirely one-sided assault, it seems. Exactly, it's assault. And they're playing the goofy music. That makes me really mad.
The enemy caught us on the hop, sir. No choice but to dig in and take defensive measures. To be honest, if the enemy had kept shelling us for another minute, we'd have been toast. Literally. Of course, veteran such as myself is only too aware that on every battlefield you're just a gnat's whisker away from death at any moment.
Are we still talking about a marital quarrel here?
Well, I must say I'm dubious that this testimony will shed any light on the origins of this jackknife.
Oh my gosh. As if you know. Well, I mean, he does have the scar on his face. I don't know. In combat, one's focus narrows such that surroundings are barely noticed. These witnesses may not be able to offer anything more than they have already testified. This may be a dead end. And ZIEKS may well be right.
But whatever the chances, we only have this last cross-examination to uncover the truth, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Very well, Counsel. Begin your cross-examination.
Finally. Alright. Even though the room was on fire, as far as I was concerned at the time, it was more important to extinguish my anger than the flames. When a woman wants to throw, she must throw.
That is most certainly not true of a starter takedown, Mr. Naruhodo!
How did she know I was thinking that? Because it's funny when a woman wants to throw, because she throws him. It's good. It's good. So, please cast your mind back and try to remember. Was a knife among the items that you threw at your husband that day? In all honesty, I don't recall. That's bad if you don't remember if you threw a knife at your husband or not. Ah! Excuse me, I don't know what happened. Yeah, that's bad. That is bad business. But I feel I must point out that I'm no monster. No, you are. Let me see. Some bread, a cabbage, garlic, a towel, and a sponge, a napkin. How did you throw a napkin? You usually can't throw napkins very well.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to add, sir? You're twirling his little pipe. Mr. Garadib!
Don't shoot!
Oh my gosh. Oh, this poor guy.
Oh, sorry. I beg your pardon.
Oh, this poor man. He just gave him PTSD flashback. And nobody cared either. That's so sad. Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind?
Not in any significance, no. Just the barrage of projectiles the old thing launched in my direction. Somewhat more solid than she implies. Books,
Bricks?
and the fire poker I seem to recall.
Why do you just have bricks laying around? Ouch. Yeah, no shit. I don't think I noticed that she poured it into his pipe. Okay.
And the woman's aim is uncanny. She landed a direct hit with every volley. Ah! Good grief, woman. We're not at home now. This is a court of law.
Oh, dearie me. Ever so sorry, dear. What's she even doing with the teapot in here, right? Honestly, John, I would have never thrown such things at you, obviously. You're delusional. She's gaslighting him.
Well, take a look at this, then. What do you suppose happened, huh? How do you suppose that happened, huh? Your pipe, sir. Had this thing in my hand as usual, time of the onslaught. Knocked it clean out with one of those soft projectiles, she did, yes. And when I went to pick the thing up, it was broken in two. Like to see a sponge do that sort of damage.
I see, your pipe was broken.
Would never have been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid.
It's true.
Anyway, I've managed to bandage the thing up for now.
Oh, you are one to exaggerate, aren't you, dear? She's so evil. Wonder what we should make of this account. Could be important. Whenever they ask you that question, it's never not important. The defense believes Mr. Garadib's remarks just now to be of great significance. Why are you objecting? This war veteran's words only tell us one thing. Betray a fiery wife, and pipes as well as hearts may be broken. That's just sexist. Listen, this is funny. There's nothing to support this, right? except for maybe the time period. I like to think that Van ZIEKS is divorced. Just him being divorced, the concept of him being divorced is just adds another layer to his character that's just funny to me. I don't know why, and it doesn't matter, but I think it's funny that he's divorced. So that's just me. There's nothing to support that in the story. There's nothing to support he was ever married. He could have been a lonely loser for his entire life. We have no idea. But I like to think that he's divorced. Sentimental wisdom, perhaps, but hardly worthy of adding to the formal testimony.
Indeed, common sense, one might say.
What? Might one?
In that case, would you at least permit us to examine the pipe, sir?
Well, I don't see why not.
Oh, dearie me, there you go again, trying to ingratiate yourself with a young lady.
What?
She's delusional. Dude, we're in court. Oh my god.
Very well, the court will accept the gentleman's pipe as evidence.
Okay, we gotta check this shit out immediately.
I hope I didn't speak out of turn, Mr. Naruhodo. I was just feeling rather disappointed for you that your request was turned down.
Oh no, it's fine. Thanks to Susato-san, we have some new evidence to work with. We should examine it carefully.
Well, thank you for that rebuttal, Mr. Garrett. Now, if we could return to the crux of the matter.
I'm looking at the pipe. Hold on. Let's just look at this knife. Oh, shit.
Oh, look here, Mr. Naruhodo, just at the tip.
I do like, Ace Attorney starts doing this in later games. I like that they make things that the characters, like, are holding, things part of their character design, are evidence. They do that sometimes, and it's really neat. They incorporate it into cases. I like it a lot.
Just at the tip, a small piece of the blade appears to be missing.
You're right. Well spotted, Miss Usato.
I wonder what could have happened to it.
Yes, you don't think it could still be lodged in the victim, do you?
Oh dear, I do hope not. That sounds terribly painful.
Well, she's not feeling any pain right now, I don't think. Yeah, let's actually look at it. Look at this pipe. I gotta stop. Oh, something just twinkled inside the chamber of the pipe here.
Yes, I saw it. Something's stuck in there, I think.
Let's turn it over and give it a shake. What's this?
It's a tiny fragment of metal. It looks like the tip of a blade or something.
Tip of a blade? Surely, it couldn't be. Okay, do we have to examine again, or what's up? You remember this?
Ah, that's the tiny fragment of metal that we found inside Mr. Garrett's pipe.
Yes, and just maybe.
Oh my, it's a perfect fit.
Somehow I just knew it. That, my friends, is called fracture matching. It's fun. We did it in forensics. They gave us a bunch of slips of paper, and they made us put the pieces of paper together. It was the most annoying thing we ever did, but it was kind of cool. I loved the projects we did in that class. They were so fun. They were so cool. Okay, I'm sorry. I miss it. Okay.
What can you tell the court about the knife used to attack the victim?
You'll have a hard time proving it. I don't, actually. What do I present? I present the fragment. Okay. Yeah, because it says it's a perfect fit. Sick. Objection. We did it, boy. We did it, ladies and gentlefolk. Mr. Garrett, could I ask you to take a good look at this, please?
You can ask, but I can't see a bloody thing.
You can't?
Used to call me Dead-Eye Deb back in the regiment, of course. That was some time ago now. Even when I'm trying to enjoy a large print book by the fire these days. I struggle to tell a B from a D and a P from a Q, to be honest.
Oh, he does, dearie me. It's rather wearing, being asked about every other letter and every other word. That's evil. You must be very dizzy. That's evil. What is that? A tiny scrap of metal? Yes, almost certainly from the tip of a blade. It matches perfectly. And what may appear at first to be just a tiny scrap is in fact a crucial piece of evidence. Interesting. And where did the defense come by this evidence? It was lodged in the chamber of Mr. Garridib's pipe.
My pipe, you say? By Jove, I wonder how that got there.
His voice is hard to maintain.
And what precisely does this fragment of metal signify, Counsel? Are you suggesting it is in some way related to the matter of the stabbing?
Yes, I am. I am. What? You idiots. When put together with another piece of evidence already in the court record, I believe this tiny fragment of metal will unravel the whole truth of this case, my lord. Oh, she's on it. Wait, his... did you see that? His butt. No, this poor guy. He has no idea. Okay.
You appear rather confident in that extraordinary statement, Counsel. Very well, then. Present the pertinent evidence to the court.
Do I have to?
What evidence, when paired with this fragment of metal, allegedly reveals the truth?
It's the knife, right?
Take that!
This is the knife that was found in the victim's back. If you look closely, you will see that there's a small piece at the tip of the blade that is missing. A common issue with the inferior blades sold at unsavory street markets. Criminals who use them regularly leave the tips lodged in their victims' bones.
And what of this particular knife?
No doubt its tip has suffered a similar fate, now languishing somewhere near the spine of the victim. You really think the doctors left it in there? No, that's not the case. Idiot. The tip of this particular knife's blade is the very fragment of metal we discovered in the chamber of Mr. Garridib's pipe.
Oh!
Ah! He's having a heart attack.
Good grief, Lord Van ZIEKS, are you alright there?
Oh my god, he's gonna die. I don't believe it. The knife from the crime scene and this fragment of metal are a perfect match. Gotcha.
Good golly gosh! Order! Is this some sort of Eastern sorcery?
I hate you, Judge. This is no magic, my lord. This is a miracle.
A miracle?
A Christmas miracle, my lord. So Van ZIEKS has figured it out, has he? Doesn't take long.
Counsel, explain this extraordinary coincidence at once.
Yes, my lord. The crucial point we have to ask ourselves here is when did the fragment of metal find its way inside Mr. Garridib's pipe? Something that was clarified for us in the most recent witness testimony. Yeah, it was broken during the fight. Not to clean out with her soft projectiles. Yep.
Oh, dearie me!
During the argument between these two that occurred just as the victim was on the pavement below, Miss Garridib flung this knife at her husband. However, the knife missed Mr. Garridib, instead striking the pipe in his hand at the time, which caused the tip to break off, of course.
Good lord!
Yes, and that is when the tiny tip of the blade found its way inside Mr. Garridib's pipe.
The chances of that are 1,000,000 to 1!
Still happened. Yet there's no other credible explanation for how the tip of the blade ended up in your pipe. Then, after losing its tip, the knife ricocheted off the pipe and flew out of the open window. That's incredible.
Ah!
In short, this knife, which fell from the window of the Garridib's house, is the very same knife that struck the victim in the middle of the back on the street below. gosh! Oh dear! Oh! No!
Objection!
Alright. Oh my god. A full-bodied theory. I'll give you that. Oh my god, I swear. A complex bouquet of seemingly trivial points, plausibly arranged to create an almost passable vintage. We're not... Allow me to toast my learned friend's characteristically Nipponese approach to battling his argument. What are you saying, man? What does that mean? Sorry? But after all, it is just a theory. The bottle, I fear, is corked. Then ZIEKS, the tip of the knife that stabbed her was found in his pipe. That's huge. That, you can't brush that off. That's not how this works. That's not how anything works. Because you see, it's spoilt by an unsurmountable inconsistency. What is this inconsistency? Do tell immediately. An insurmountable what? I don't even know what that word means.
Lord Van ZIEKS, explain yourself and get your leg off that desk. What is this inconsistency you claim to have identified?
He's still got it up there. An inconsistency of the simplest nature, my lord. The victim was found with the knife planted in the middle of her back. Okay, and that doesn't change the fact that it was there. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Yes, in her... Oh my god. Ugh. That's disgusting. That's so bad. That's so awful. Okay. That's right, you silly little man.
Now, Joan, old thing, what are you getting so excited about?
Let us consider the basic facts of the case once more. The victim was walking along the pavement before being stabbed in the back and falling to the ground. If the knife that struck her had fallen from above, there's no possible way it could have planted itself into the victim's back. Yeah, but it did, though, is the thing, Van ZIEKS. We have proven that it did, so shut up. Like, I don't care that you don't know how. It did.
Order, order!
Right, you see, that's exactly right. If the knife had fallen on her from above, it would have struck her on the top of the head. Well, can we put her in handcuffs? He's lost for words. Look, I knew it. I never liked his theory in the first place. I don't know, though, what really did happen. Oh, yeah.
It would appear the defense has made a rather
Spectacular blunder. This isn't a blunder! We have more solid evidence than Van ZIEKS had for the entire case. No, that's so not true. This isn't an inconsistency. It's just we don't understand how it happened, but it did. We know that it did. If a theory has even one inconsistency, it cannot stand. You're kidding me. Your theory, my learned friend, is history. You're crazy, dude. You're unhinged. You're delusional. We were so close. No, tell him it's bullshit. I could see the truth. I was so sure we were on the right track. But now the way has been blocked completely by just one simple inconsistency. Or in other words, we simply need to eliminate that one inconsistency and the theory will stand. Mrs. Otto. You mustn't worry, Mr. Naruhodo. You were just caught off guard, that's all, and your mind went blank. But if the path you were on is indeed correct, then a way will present itself. The key to this is in the court record, I'm sure. All the information you need is there. It seems you have nothing to say, my Nipponese friend. You're delusional, Van ZIEKS. Well, your silence speaks volumes. A tacit acceptance that your theory is fatally flawed. It's not! It's not, it is... The only... He objected and then he... Okay, I'll rant in a minute. This inconsistency doesn't mean I was on the wrong track. It means that I needed to sharpen my mind and dig deeper for the truth. It's a test. Okay, here's my ramble. The books at the scene. That's not a murder weapon. The books were not the, it wasn't a murder, but you know, they were not the weapon used to incapacitate the victim. But the knife was. Like, his is completely circumstantial. All he can prove is that he was there. That's all he could prove. Whereas with this, we've literally seen that the knife in their house exited that house after the tip of it was broken off and went into the victim's back. That is more tangible evidence. That is direct evidence. His is circumstantial and it's indirect, but that is direct evidence. So take that, Van ZIEKS. I'm sorry. I forgot how annoying that one was. That's worse than the McGilded case to me. Yes. That's it? That's it. Yes. Okay. If the knife fell on the victim from above, there's no way that it could have hit her in the middle of her back. Under normal circumstances, that is. What are you implying?
Counsel!
There's a piece of evidence in the court record that can explain this inconsistency. That can explain how the knife that fell from above could have pierced the victim's back. We already have the answer. Goodness!
What a madness!
No, this is Sparta. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Surely this must be the last time. Counsel, present the evidence of which you speak.
Do it. This is the last inconsistency. The final piece in the puzzle. If I can successfully make sense of this, the truth will be laid bare at last. The evidence that explains how the falling knife became lodged in the victim's back is... right there. Because she bent over to pick the book up.
Take that!
This, the fourth book found at the scene. This is the final piece of evidence the defense will present. The burnt book.
Is that not Mr. Garridib's book?
Yes, and to understand its significance, we have to consider how it came to be at the scene in the first place. This photographic print clearly shows the book in question, and the victim holding it in her hand. But as we all now know, it was the police constable that put the book between her fingers like that. Because that's how he found it, you idiot.
Quite so, as part of his wholesale transplanting of the crime scene to the opposite side of the road.
That's true, however. As part of his testimony, Constable Beat made an extremely enlightening statement on that point. We remember... Okay. In other words, the victim had already picked the book up of her own volition. And clearly that must have been before she suffered the knife wound.
Well, I should say so. After being attacked with a knife, I don't imagine she'd have been doing much of anything.
Yeah. So the question becomes, why did the victim have that book in her hand?
By Jinga! I think I'm beginning to see what may have happened now.
Oh, dearie me. We know that the book fell from the top floor of the Garridib household onto the pavement below. At precisely the moment the victim was walking past. Yes, at exactly that moment. The young woman was walking along the street in the light fog, when all of a sudden, a book fell right in front of her.
The book I threw.
Yes, Miss Garridib. And what do you think the woman did? What would you do if you were walking along and suddenly a book landed in front of you on the pavement?
Well, I really can't imagine it, but I suppose she might have reached down and picked the book up.
Yes, that is exactly what the woman in fact did. She picked up the book.
Oh heavens!
And when the woman reached down to pick the fallen book up, what position would her back have been in? That's right, facing the sky, completely and utterly defenseless. Then, in the very next moment, while the woman was still bent over picking up the book. The next object fell from the room above, the jackknife, straight into the middle of her back. And at that same time, walking by chance directly behind Miss Green, was the defendant, Mr. Soseki Natsumi.
Well, I never.
It appeared to Mr. Natsumi that the woman simply collapsed on the floor, so it must have happened very rapid fire. In the dark and the fog, he didn't see the knife falling on her from above. Oh! And from the other direction, the constable and his wife saw no one but the victim and her apparent attacker.
So there was never a real culprit to run from the scene in the first place?
No, this was nothing more than a series of unlikely events that culminated in an unfortunate accident. No, it was assault. That was still aggravated assault. She threw a knife at her husband. You don't throw a knife at your husband. You endangered him. I don't care if you didn't mean to kill him, you endangered him. So what happened was, when you endangered him, you endangered the person below on the street with the knife. So yes, this is not an accident. You meant to cause harm to someone, and you did. That's my take on it. And that is the real truth behind this case. Well, Mr. and Miss Garrido?
The very first time you showed me that knife, I had my suspicions. I wondered if perhaps it might have been something like that.
There, old bean. Finally, I'll get you away from me. You'll go to prison.
Poor Miss Garrido. I don't feel bad for her at all. It's about time she got what was coming to her. Poor Miss Green.
Of course, I never meant for anything of the sort to happen, but I was throwing knives! It was all my fault, wasn't it?
Yes!
I take full responsibility.
Good. You're going to jail.
I let my anger get the better of me. I threw that book. And I threw the knife as well.
Yep. You're going to jail.
John, dear.
It's all right, I know. That could have been me, though, Joan.
I'm ever so sorry.
No, you're not.
Truly. I'm sorry.
Oh no. This poor guy. Oh my god. You know how much strain that puts on your knees? Oh my gosh, he probably just busted a kneecap or two. That's sad. There you have it.
Lord Van ZIEKS, what news of Miss Garrido?
Now they take her. Also, the courthouse has an infirmary? Okay. She's been taken to the infirmary. It would appear that today's events had left her in an especially flustered state. Yeah, she's going to jail. However, I believe she will recover in due course. There's no cause for concern. We didn't care when she fell on the juror bench, though.
Yes, unbeknownst to themselves, they caught...
Them? Sorry, themselves?
Unbeknownst to herself, she caused what could easily have been a terrible tragedy.
We don't know if she's paralyzed or not. We don't know if she's gonna come out of this coma. 2, she could come out and be paralyzed. If it hit her spine, she could be paralyzed. Like, that's not good. Like, this is a terrible tragedy. This woman will be scarred, literally and mentally, for the rest of her life.
She shall have to prepare herself for the consequences of her actions.
There is some good news, however, my lord. I have just had word from the hospital where the victim is being treated. Her condition is improving steadily, and the doctor believes she will regain consciousness soon. If we had waited, maybe we would have gotten that cleared up. Strange. We've been talking about the victim all this time, but we've never once met her.
How wonderful! The woman is out of danger, it seems.
Hopefully. Yes, that is good news. Still don't know if she's paralyzed or not, though.
So, Mr. Soseki Natsumi.
Yeah, my guy. Look at him go.
Yes.
Yes.
On behalf of my fellow countrymen, I would like to take this opportunity to beg your pardon, sir. You came from your distant eastern homeland to study our great British culture, and have been repaid with immeasurable unkindness. Please accept our heartfelt apologies.
Okay. Good. Good on him. Oh no.
I want to go home. No, it is me who should be begging your pardon.
Oh, no, Mr. Natsumi.
That evening, when the young woman just collapsed on the pavement before my eyes, I jumped to the wrong conclusion again in my confusion. What conclusion, sir? I was sure that the woman was dead.
Most people were.
Yes, Constable Beat said the same thing, didn't he? He thought she had been killed too.
Suppose she must have looked completely lifeless. That's usually how being in a coma works.
It's been about a year since I arrived in Great Britain now, but I still can't get used to life here. I can't relax. I'm sure there are evil spirits lurking in the fog, like they're haunting me.
Oh my god. Poor Soseki-san. His imagination really has got the better of him. He's got anxiety.
Yes, poor man.
So when it happened, I thought the young woman had been taken by the fog spirits.
Oh my god. This poor guy.
I should never have dropped my books like that and run away.
Oh.
I should have called for help, for a doctor, for the police. Instead, I've managed to create a rift in the relationship of trust between our two empires. And for that, I am truly sorry.
Okay.
One could indeed say that some sort of mischievous spirit has been at work here, I think. The Holy Spirit. One that created a chain of unfortunate mishaps.
No.
We were befooled by this spirit and led to false conclusions. But thanks to our young lawyer here from the East, that chain has now been broken and the spirit exorcised. I heartily commend you.
Oh! He knows he don't deserve that praise. That's why he's staying quiet.
Now then, ladies and gentlefolk of the jury.
Yes, my lord.
In concluding this trial, I must ask one last time for your decisions regarding the defendant's culpability.
I forgot they were here.
Are you ready to present your findings to the court?
As the foreman of this jury, I can assure you we've reached a fair and just conclusion.
I do declare the truth can be extremely cruel at times.
This isn't a cruel... Why? Well, I didn't suspect the woman next to me, that's for sure. I investigated him.
Sitting in for the old bean while she's in action, you know, but I know what her decision would be.
No, he just wanted to go to jail, and I can't blame him. Does mean I'll finally be able to get out of here and get to work? Well, it's about time.
I say, I'll have a corker of a story to tell the grandchildren when I get home, won't I?
I hope the grandchildren are not, like, children. I hope they're adults. If not, this might scar them.
Very well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. I hereby demand your final decisions. Mr. Foreman.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Guilty. Look, we did it! Woo! Woo, we did it! Let's go.
Very well, Mr. Soseki Natsumi. I hereby pronounce you not guilty.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. We got the confetti. This is the first actual happy ending we've had, I believe. I think that Miss Garridim deserves it.
And finally, Mr. Natsumi. Oh, yes, Lord Sir. You are now a free man once more. It is my hope that you will continue to further your education in British culture. And may you never again be brought before me. Oh, yes, sir. Of course. All my life, I swear I'll never set foot in a courtroom again. I'm transported to tears. Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned.
Finally. 3:17. We got out early. I thought it would be like 5. Again.
Oh, locum.
Wait. You mean me?
Of course. Is there another locum here?
Is there even one?
Compared to the original locum student, Mr. Naruto Esquire, your name has become rather short, hasn't it?
What's wrong with using my actual name? It's in there.
Oh, at last, I'm free! I'm free! Joyful, joyous, jubilant jubilation! Heady, hearty happiness, hurrah!
Oh, I am pleased. Mr. Natsumi is delighted.
Would it be so hard to just say that then?
Locum, you did it! You saved me from the brink!
Well, what happened to the poor woman was in no way your fault after all. I'm just glad everyone can see that now.
No, not that! Lovely, loyal locum lawyer!
Yes?
I mean, as I said before, I've just never got used to life. I've just never got used to life here in Great Britain. Every time I look over my shoulder, I see foreigners. I see towering big buildings. And from high up windows, I see them looking down on me, laughing. Look at that little hunchback.
Oh, dear, I'm sure it's all in your head, Mr. Natsumi.
But today, you locum lawyer, gave my gloom the boot. You stood firm behind that baronial bench, before all those babbling British. You battled to the bitter end, laying bare the baffling truth. And when I beheld the blinding fireworks among the beams of the Bailey's roof, I bellowed, "Behold the best barrister ever born!"
Well, that's very flattering, and we're very pleased for you. This has given me a wonderful anecdote to recount to my old friends back in Japan. An anecdote? Is that what's to become of my hard work? Oh, there you are, my dear fellows. I apologize for keeping you waiting. I rose late this morning. It's 3 p.m., Shelms. It's 3 p.m.
Oh, Mr. Shelms, what a pleasure to see you. But how did you get in here?
I see I am here not a moment too soon. A disaster has been averted, I'm glad to say.
Oh.
The trial shall begin presently, Mr. Naruto. I wish you the very best of luck. Oh my god. It's just finished. What? No! Then my haste was in vain!
It's you! Airlock Shelms!
Oh, have we met, sir?
This is Mr. Natsumi, the man you had arrested, Mr. Shelms.
Ah, I see. I failed to recognize you at first. Our previous encounters have taken place in the gloom, either of your bleak lodgings or that prison cell. I simply couldn't place that curious face in the light. Charming.
This is all your fault, Airlock Shelms. You're the reason I had to go through this terrible ordeal. I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. Oh no.
My apologies, sir, but I assure you, I have placed you now. That's not what he's referring to. You're the fellow who abandoned that poor young lady and ran off, are you not? Oh, yeah, you play the guilt game. Had she been taken to hospital more urgently? I feel perhaps she would have regained consciousness by now.
Oh,
But it was unavoidable, I'm sure. We are but human, after all. Anyone would have been shaken by such an experience. Except me, of course.
I do feel very badly about how I behaved.
Well, never mind. Now then, what was it you wanted to say to me, sir?
Never mind. Nothing.
Yep. I won! Priceless! Oh, I am sorry, really, but that was quite priceless. Osaseki-san. He's so evil! Still, on the bright side, you've had an extremely entertaining experience without paying a penny. And, it would seem, you were not even found guilty.
But there is no bright side.
whatever do you mean, Mr. Natsumi?
Even after this, I'm still cursed by the spirits and now by the Reaper.
Oh no. Ah, Lord Van ZIEKS.
I haven't forgotten, you know, what facing that man in court means. Even if you're found not guilty, you're still doomed.
Uh-oh.
It
Oh, it will. Oh, you're right, Mr. Natsumi. Please don't have a panic attack again. If the Reaper appears trying to make trouble, I will protect you.
That's right, give him a Susato takedown. Hiya! Why me?
Just like that, with a perfectly executed Susato takedown.
He's still shaking. Much as I like being turned on my head, a bit of warning might be nice next time, Miss Susato. She doesn't know the meaning of the word. So, Mr. Natsumi, what do you intend to do now? You mentioned something about recounting your experiences to your friends back in Japan. Go home. Yes, I intend to return to my homeland soon. Yes!
Oh,
It has already been a year since I arrived here in Great Britain. I visited universities, libraries, bookshops. I've been honored with the tutelage of professors. I've learned so much about the wealth of literature here, and the city it has shaped. And I've come to realize that it is my calling to sail home and tell my fellow countrymen about it.
that's very touching, Mr. Natsumi.
Or, in perhaps less veiled terms, you wish to withdraw halfway around the world to escape the terror of the Reaper's curse?
That's not it at all.
It's okay if it is, I understand completely.
The more I learn of literature, the more this strange feeling claws at my insides. I feel compelled to return to my roots and attempt to pen a work of my own.
Yo! Oh, I see. A work of literature by Soseki-san. Could be an interesting read. Yeah, he has one called I Am a Cat or something. The real one. Not the character. And what about Miss Susato and yourself, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry, what about us? Would you return to Japan alongside your mustached compatriot? Why would we?
A week has not yet passed since we've arrived in London. And only now does it feel as though we finally found our feet.
And you are accommodated in a hotel at present, are you not? Why do you know that, Mr. Sholmes? That's right, but we need to find lodgings before it bankrupts us.
I've calculated we can only afford another 10 nights before our entire budget is exhausted.
Well then, you could take my lodgings.
No, thank you. Oh, the windowless room?
Ah, but what it lacks in windows, it more than makes up for with a floor, ceiling, and walls.
Great.
And of course, I'd be happy to leave behind the accursed evil spirit with you.
Oh my, an evil spirit?
Oh yes. It tries to suffocate you while you sleep. Oh my god, it's an infallible wake-up call.
We'll think about it, if that's all right. Perhaps I can offer a more welcome alternative. Would you consider taking lodgings with me? You know Susato's about to jump on that.
Really?
Well, the vacancy has conveniently presented itself. Though it is up in the attic, I might add. Are you sure it isn't just a storage loft? I spoke with the landlady this very morning on the matter of price. What do you mean, this morning? You woke up 30 minutes ago. And Iris is cleaning the room as we speak. You must come at once. I presume you have no luggage to speak of.
Oh, this is simply wonderful! What an honor to be invited to take lodgings in the great detective's office's attic. I'm too overcome for words.
So suggesting we look elsewhere is out then. Yeah. Then it's settled. Iris will prepare a welcome dinner this evening. A welcome dinner. That works too. She's all ready for it. Aw. And you must come too, Mr. Natsumi. I insist. Oh no, I don't know about that.
I don't know what to say, but thank you, and yes. Wonderful! Then I'll go and complete the paperwork for your formal release, Mr. Natsumi. It shan't take long.
Somebody's happy. I'd be happy too. Sholmes is awesome.
Locum, I knew that you wouldn't let me down. I'm truly delighted to have met you here in London.
Likewise, Mr. Natsumi. It's been a privilege meeting you too. It's a shame that we're going to have to say goodbye so soon.
Well, I've come to realize that I belong in Japan. But Locum, we'll meet again one day.
Yes, I'm sure. Hopefully by then, I'll be a successful lawyer.
Hopefully by then, I'll be a successful author.
Well, my dear fellow, our carriage appears to have arrived. Oh my gosh, he had everything ready. Shall we go, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, Mr. Sholmes. I've little doubt that Mr. Natsumi will be released in time for dinner this evening. Yeah, it's pretty early. Let's go! And so, with Soseki-san's innocence successfully established, we rode with Mr. Sholmes to what was to become our new home, 221B Baker Street. Let's go. Are we excited? Look at it! Look at it! It's so cool up here. Alright. That took a while. So this is to be our new office, yes? Our office? I rather like the sound of that.
Me too! It's simply wonderful, isn't it?
I hope you can see this, Kazuma. It's only a small step, but I'd like to think we're getting a little closer to your dream now. Oh. So, my dear fellows, do you like the place? Are you ready? Are you ready, my dear fellows? Ah! Mr. Sholmes! Yes, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, you're built. Sorry, I didn't mean to... Yeah, look at his home outfit. It's so cool. It's the first time they've given characters multiple outfits, I believe. Which is sad. But yes.
It's a delightful room, Mr. Sholmes. I simply adore it.
Good, I'm pleased to hear it. Iris and I are delighted to welcome you.
Yeah! I hope everyone's hungry. It's nearly time for dinner. Wait, soon as Mr. Natsumi arrives, we have a lot to celebrate. Iris, you must let me help you. Alright then, Susie. You can be in charge of the salad. Splendid.
And they're gone. Leaving me with Mr. Sholmes once again. So, Mr. Naruhodo, how does it feel? To have your own office in the capital. It's very exciting, actually. I can't help wondering what adventures await us. Okay, that's it? Those were precisely my sentiments when I first established my office at these premises. Until I discovered the dark truth about the city of London, that is. Sorry. London's a glorious place, full of wonder, opportunity, prosperity, and mirth. But the brightness of lights casts the darkest of shadows. Shadows? What do you mean? Well, I believe you're well aware of the murkiness that lies behind London's facade already. Yeah, you're right. So once again, Mr. Naruhodo. Welcome to London. Alright. Yeah! Living with Sholmes.
Of course, at the time, I had no idea of the significance of those words Mr. Sholmes so casually spoke. But it wasn't long before my turn came. To lift the facade and see the true depth of the murk that lay behind it.
End. We did it! I only recorded for 3 hours today. Longest recording session yet. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me a like and subscribe. You know the usual for upcoming YouTubers, because it helps. It really does. Any engagement helps. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you think of Sholmes' home outfit, because I lost it the first time. I was like, no, I can't simp over him, but I am. I'm simping. He's hotter than ZIEKS. Easy. Okay, yeah. Hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.